Welcome back to the behind the scenes of the Reconciler. I'm filmmaker Sean Justice. Although you tend to shoot a film out of sequence for efficiency's sake, we were able to start shooting the Reconciler where the story begins, with two men waking up in a sealed room not knowing who the other is. As the energy ramps up, more and more discoveries are made. So is the discovery of a third person. As a filmmaker, you're constantly making creative choices in regards to actor performances, camera angles, lighting, props, locations, and even the snacks to put on the craft services table. You are making these decisions quickly. Do your best to make sure that you have a clear vision for the project and all of the details. So when the questions come up, you're not holding up production. In this episode, we'll concentrate on the camera choices I made and why. Hopefully, it'll help you make better choices as you shoot your own film. From back behind the audio station, we're repositioning the camera to get our singles, our close-ups on each person for the last scene that we were showing in the last episode. I think I'm replacing the camera card or the memory card for the camera. This is the reversal, and it's a little unique because they're sitting side by side. Normally you'd have two people facing each other to get reversals. And of course it's a challenge too in editing because it's harder to cut because you see the other person's mouth moving or their reaction or how they're sitting or the way their head is faced. So it can be a little problematic, but still it's better than just having one single shot.
All right, let's go to 2.
You gotta tell me where 2 is.
Yeah, okay. All right, keep going. Actually, right there.
So we're actually practicing, and Kevin's getting his measurements on that lens as we push into the lock there in the shot. So this is, I guess you can call it a rehearsal for him. And once he kind of has it down, then we'll bring in the actors and shoot it. And there we go.
Wait. We don't know what's in there.
I still don't like his cane.
Yeah.
Props. The cane was in the shot and it was taken away from the focus on the lock. So I'm operating the dolly myself so I can actually stand over Kevin's shoulder and see the shot as it happens. Plus I could control the speed of the move that I wanted. You didn't clear the thing.
Should we now? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, clear it off, and that gives me time to make my move too. Action. And then we move the camera to the jib, their camera crane. The whole idea was this big reveal of what is in the case. And of course you can't see it from behind them. So I thought, man, it'd be cool to move it up and over. And it presents its own challenges. I was actually running the height of the jib going up and down, and Kevin was running the tilt of the camera as it went up, because as it goes up you want to tilt down to do the reveal. We had a monitor back there, of course, that we could watch, but it's definitely a coordination effort between the two. The other thing we were able to do with this was shoot different angles very quickly. Just move the jib around to get our singles.
I don't know.
Good. It's almost a stunt move here. There's so much energy, of course, that they have in it. I think the close-up that we're gonna get here is on Scott, but now you've actually opened it up to 3 potential single shots on each of them, where we had just shot 2 shots from that point. What we did is I maintained just a 2-shot, or essentially a single, because there was so much energy between the both of them and how quickly that they moved together.
That's my twin brother! What? It's Alex! Is he okay? I don't know. Alex. Wait a second.
So that's good. Let him say, wait a sec. And I'm talking about an insert shot there, just for coverage, of grabbing the bag on the inside of the crate there.
What's wrong? That's my twin brother! What? It's Alex! Is he okay? I don't know. Alex! Hold on, wait a second.
And you still show the action of him grabbing the bag, even though you can't see him do it right now.
11 lady, take 1, mark.
Okay, go ahead and sit up into that shot so I can get a focus real quick. Wait, actually, hold on a second here. I need to come up with the jib just a little bit. Well, I'd rather come up with the jib and look straight on.
Alright. We're gonna go
Right there.
right there.
A lot of energy in this part of the scene, of course. And the camera is pretty close to them. So much of the emotion is in the eyes. So I'm really careful to make sure we have the eyes in the shot and we can see what's going on inside people's heads as they act it out.
Where are we? Who is he? What does he think you have a different name? Alex! This is Ed. Ed, this is Alex.
And of course, the advantage of having the camera still in the jib is you can still push in a little bit and raise with the actors as they move around. Or I could have, for instance, been on a 2-shot and then pulled the camera up to reveal Scott giving a reaction or saying a line.
How's your guys' relationship right now? Well, I don't see what that has to do with any of this, man. I'm going to guess that means not good.
Okay,
In fact,
we need to stop.
Yeah.
And reset. Camera cut. Camera cut. Audio on.
Light up, Mark.
Wait.
Scene 11 lady, take 2.
This is actually kind of funny what happens here.
And action.
Get off me!
So I just want to make sure to recheck my angle because he did kick the camera.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm the camera kid. Dang it. Screw me.
Sit up. Sit up. Just.
I kicked that thing.
There's so much energy, I wanted to make sure that they ramped it up just before we went with the take.
Get off me! Get away! I don't know who you are, what you want, but I know karate! Go!
And you can see they're moving around a lot and actually move the camera out just a little bit. It was so much movement. I think I finally had to stop.
Man, why are you here? Who is he? Who is he? Ed. Why does he think you're Alex, Alex, this is Ed, alright? Ed, this is my brother Alex. Alright, we both woke up in here too, okay? Or we don't know what's going on or why we're here.
Oh yeah, the train.
Why the train?
One of the things you think about with your locations is what are they next to? And we didn't think about the train horn going off all the time. So it interrupted more than one take.
James! Dude, what are you doing here? Is this trying to give a sick joke?
See, I had the camera going back there to try and keep them in frame. And of course, I hadn't talked with Kevin about that. So he's probably trying to figure out what to do as well with my pulling the camera back just to keep them in. But finally, I'm like, guys, you gotta keep up the energy, but you can't move all over the place because of the tightness of the shot.
You're both moving out of frame for some reason.
Yeah, back down, back down.
Okay.
I guess stay still, you know.
When you're shooting in 4K with the Red or with any camera, a lot of times you're editing in 1080 or HD quality. So what that gives you the ability to do is maybe to pull the camera back, shoot a little wider, and then be able to push in or zoom in the editing to get the angle and the shot that you want. Even when you're editing in 4K, it gives you a little bit of leadway to do that too, because the resolution is just so high.
Check focus and back to 1, please. Sorry, guys. And energy up and action.
Get off! Get away! I don't know who you are, what you want from me, but I don't cry!
I think we're pulling back a little bit because Scott's, we want to get both of them.
I don't see how it has to do with any of this, man.
Okay, cut. I think that was great.
Come on, back to whack. I can't work like this.
As I said, you have an infinite amount of creative choices when you shoot a project. Even so, there are some important things to remember. One of which is to capture the eyes as much as possible. They really are the windows to the soul. I'd even go as far to say that if you lose the eyes, then you lose the audience. On the flip side, when you want to create a moment of disconnection, have the actor turn away from the camera. In the next episode, I'll talk about reaction shots and tell you why they're just as important as the dialogue shots. Just so you know, I'll be releasing 1 or 2 of these videos a week, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. and turn the notifications bell on so you can catch them when they come out. If you like this video, please let us know by liking it, and please leave us any comments or questions as well. I try to respond as quickly as I can. If you want to watch The Reconciler or any of our other movies, click on the link below. Finally, I often get questions about what training, software programs, and equipment I'd recommend for beginners. To help with this, I've set up a resources page on our site. On it, I talk about some great training courses and some other resources for filmmaking, and even list some website tools to build your own site. The final part of the resources page are kits of recommended products. This includes various camera packages, grip and lighting gear, and post-production tools. The link is justicepictures.com/resources. It's also in the description below. Check it out. That's it for now. We'll see you next time on The Reconciler.